live. A hot mic. We are hot. Where am I? Hi. What's up, chat? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's a conspiracy theory day here at APC's. Ask me anything. Conspiracy theory day. Shit talking Northeast sports teams day. You know, whatever. What are we building today, Mr. Brad?
We are building a Centurion.
All right. And it's the AMD version, it looks
It's the
like.
AMD, yes.
This is
Is up.
AMD Ryzen 7 7700
Here's the
for extreme and 7700X for extreme. MSI Mag B650. A Hawk Wi-Fi. DDR5 6000 RAM. We're ready.
cool.
I think we're ready. Let's do it. Without further ado, let's start building this machine. I'll try not to take so long today. Odds that I am gonna not take so long. 0. 0 odds. I'm gonna take long. I'm gonna talk too much and take long. Mark it down. Can put that in the yes column. So happy Friday, everyone. Hope you guys had a great week at work or on vacation or whatever you were doing this week. If you were on vacation this week, suck. And I envy you. No. Got plans for the weekend, Fred? What are you doing this weekend? Anything good?
Some yard work. Nothing fun.
Yard work? Doesn't sound good.
No.
Sounds like work.
Yep.
I don't like that. It doesn't sound good.
Why?
You'll touch grass.
I will touch grass.
See, there you go.
Briefly. I'll
Briefly.
cut grass too.
Cut grass? I don't cut my grass, dude. I do not cut my grass. I have not cut my grass. I've lived in my house for, I think, 8 years now or something. I've never cut the grass.
You always had it as service.
Not one time. Dude, we were in the house. We lived in that house. I'm not kidding you. Like 2 days. And I seriously think it was our second day living in that house. And buddy comes to the door. Dude named Ishmael. Hispanic gentleman. Like literally rang my doorbell, shook my hand, introduced himself. Says that he's got a landscaping company that he operates and they have a lot of customers in their neighborhood or whatever. And says that for $20 a week they'll do our yard for $20 a week.
That's pretty nice.
I have never seen this guy again.
Wait, really?
I've never seen this guy again. Never. I've never seen him again. And the guy literally knocked on the door, rang the doorbell, introduced himself, shook my hand, offered to add us to their client list or whatever. $20 a week. That's the last time I've ever seen this guy, bro. I've seen like his crew.
Yeah.
That comes around and like I've never talked to this guy. I've never called him. He's never called me. Like he leaves a bill in my mailbox once a month, and then we mail him a check that goes to a P.O. box in Carpentersville. I've never seen this guy again. They've been doing our landscaping for 8 years. Like $20. They've never changed the price on me. It is still the same $20. Like, what else do you do in your life that costs the same now as it did 8 years ago?
Nothing.
Dude has never changed it. He has never changed the price on me, bro. Never. I've never seen or heard from this guy again. Like, I mean, and his dudes show up every week, like clockwork. They cut the grass. We don't have a big property or yard or anything.
Yeah.
So, like, these dudes are in there and out of there in, like, 10 minutes. and they got 3 guys, and they park the truck at the end of the street. The first dude comes on that like commercial mower, and it's like wah 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 wah, like, you know, nice stripy cut
Yep.
on the grass, and then he's gone. Next dude comes in with the string trimmer, you know, down the fence, around the sandbox, swing set, edge the thing, boom, he's gone. Next dude comes in with the backpack blower, the dudes are out of there in like 12 minutes. And for me to do as good a job as they do would take hours.
Yeah.
So it looks great, and they've never changed the price on me in 8 years. I've never seen that guy again. And I'm just like, dude, if everything in my life could be that, like, autopilot, man, maybe I could take a vacation. You know? Like, maybe I could really take a vacay if everything in my life was that automatic. But that was it. I've literally never seen that. They drop a bill in the mailbox once a month. That's it. Done.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then they do, they hit us, I think, for 80 or $100 once at the beginning of the year in the spring when they do the first cut. They charge us extra, I think $80 extra or $100 extra for spring cleanup. But they come and they trim all the bushes, they pull all the leaves and shit from the fall out of the bushes. Like they fluff them, you know, they fluff the mulch. If they edge the flower beds again, they edge them in, you know. So they come like once at the beginning of the spring when they first start cutting again, and they do like a spring cleanup, and I think they charge us $100 for it or something.
It's not bad at all.
Like, dude, I mean, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just on autopilot. I don't recall that they ever like asked us if they could do the spring cleanup or whatever. They just do it. But like, you know, they do it once a year. And then the last cut in the fall, they cut it real short. It's like the first cut of the year I think is shorter, and the last cut of the year is shorter, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I never. It is like the most automatic thing in my life, dude. It's wild.
That's nice.
And it's like, I mean, honestly, I don't even mind like cutting my grass and stuff, but legit for $20, dude.
Yep.
Like, you know, not $40 or $60, like legit $20. Like, how can you beat that? Do we not have a little screwdriver in here? I thought we had a little one. Let me run and get one.
Okay.
BRB, timeout, look at that. Gotta add all my shit.
Hey, what's up, Lynn? Do we have a brand new giveaway? Not yet. Not yet. Let me just double check. But we will be announcing something within the next couple weeks, I think. So stay tuned.
Alright, found him. Got him.
Got him?
Got him. You sound tired, man. You tired?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you stay up too late last night?
No, I woke up early.
Woke up early?
Yeah.
What did you do that for?
Had to go to the bathroom and then I never fell back asleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's always why I wake up in the morning. When I wake up early.
Yeah. What's wild is I drink, so I fill this thing up.
Yeah.
And I drink it right before I go to bed every night. The whole thing. Like, I fill this thing up and I drink it right before I go to bed every night and never wake up to pee. Something's wrong with me, dude. Now, as soon as I wake up in the morning,
You're peeing.
oh yeah, instantly. And like for real. But yeah, I never wake up to pee. So that means for sure when I'm like an old Joe Biden, I'm for sure gonna pee myself when I'm sleeping. 100%. 100%. I will go back to being a bedwetter Because I was a bedwetting kid too.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. My mom tells me I was. I don't remember. But she has no reason to lie to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a bedwetter kid. And I guess I'm going back to bedwetting when I'm old now. I'll be going back to being a bedwetter, dude. It'd be like my second roll on, I'll re-roll my bedwetting. Like Joe Biden. Did you see Joe Biden shit his pants yesterday?
No, what?
At the D-Day?
Wait, really?
Yeah. At the D-Day thing that he went to. So he like got out of the car and he like hunched over and he literally like stood right there and like crapped his pants. Can we Google that? I'm serious. Bring it up. Put it on the split screen. Show the chat. I mean, do a poll. Like, what is he doing in this video? Like, he has to be crapping himself, dude. He has to be. I mean, anyone with a toddler knows what that face is. Like, I mean, anyone that's ever had a kid, a niece, a nephew, like, you know. Did you find it? Did you find the clip?
Getting there. People are saying he did not shit himself.
He did not.
Yeah.
Maybe he pissed himself. I saw the clip, dude. It was number one or number two. It was one or the other.
I'm trying to find the clip. Where is it?
100. Do a poll. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, I have 5 children. I've seen that look many a time. Many times I have seen that face, man.
Yeah, wait, what is he doing?
It's one or two. I mean, let the people vote, but I'm telling you.
Let me get this up here.
It's one or the other, bro. It's one or the other.
Valkara says, "Oh my God, if Joe Biden actually did crap himself, it would be freaking hilarious."
Well, he actually
He's-
crapped himself. Like
He's doing something, man.
he's either
I don't know if it was like
he's either filling his diaper. I mean, he's filling his diaper one way or the other. One way. I mean, I don't know
looks
if
like
he's,
he was trying to sit.
I don't know. No, then he tried to sit when there was no chair.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe
So
that.
there's 2 separate incidents. And remember, he went out in public for multiple hours yesterday. So there were multiple incidents of him being a dementia-addled, like, geriatric. I mean, I genuinely feel sorry for the guy. I really do.
Yeah.
Because they keep trotting him out there, and this guy has no shot of, like, knowing what's going on or anything, dude. Like, there's no way.
So you said he was getting out of the car, and that's when.
Yeah, when he was getting out of the car, he was loading up his trousers, and that's what I'm talking about. And then there was a second thing where he
was on stage.
Yeah, he was on the
Yeah.
stage and he stopped and he like tried to sit down and there was no chair.
Yeah.
Then he was falling asleep during the ceremony, and like you can see his wife was like nudging him to like wake up, and he was literally just falling asleep during the ceremony. Like, I mean, bro, whatever. I don't. What are we doing at this point with this guy? Like, I don't, whether you like him or don't like him, whatever. The guy is like, I genuinely feel terrible for him at this point. Because he's obviously not with us. You know what I'm saying?
I found the clip
Like,
now.
I mean, I want to make sure I'm not like inventing stuff in my mind. Bring it up on the split screen. That's what we're doing today. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, there's always a chance that I saw some like edit, you know what I mean? Like edited video on Twitter or something like that. All right, so this is the clip that I'm talking about. I'm telling you, the guy's peeing his pants right there, bro. Like, I mean, that is the look of either somebody that's going to the bathroom or doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, that's like, I did, I don't know. What are we doing with this guy at this point? Just get him out of there. Get somebody else in. I don't even care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just anyway. I sound like him now. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, that's what I spent my evening last night with. I had a great text thread going. Dude, can we grab the AMD Expo
Yes.
stuff?
6,000.
Yeah, the Beast AMD Expo 32 gig 6000. Because this is the Intel stuff.
Okay.
Thank you. I probably grabbed the wrong thing. But yeah, that was. Anyway, I don't know. Tell us in the chat what do you guys think? Because that was. I have 5 kids and I have seen that face. And that face is the I'm loading the diaper face. So hopefully we get this thing figured out this year with all this craziness that's going on. Yeah. All right, so we got our Landcool 215 is the case for our Centurion model. Always been a big fan of this case. It's easy to work in. Lots of appropriately located channels for cable management and so on. Also, very, very good case for airflow. Just got your standard front to back airflow in this one. But the big thing with this one is these two 200 millimeter front fans. These things are massive. And of course, the bigger the fan, you can move more air at a lower RPM. So it's nice and quiet, which is also good. I remember the old gaming PCs. You can keep these PCs so much more quiet now, even though they're so much more like power hungry than what they used to be.
1 sec, guys. Okay, we're back.
All right, so yeah, so 200 millimeter front fans means you can have the fan spinning at a lower RPM and still be moving the same or more air. You don't have to rotate them as quickly to move a similar volume of air as a smaller fan. But yeah, these modern PC cases, man, are pretty good. And even though the actual power consumption on these things is like so much more than your old school like gaming PCs, you're good about your parts lists and your configurations, you can get a really good machine that doesn't sound like there's a Harrier taking off a flight deck when you go to turn it on and put it under load when you're gaming. Did we put the poll up yet?
No, I forgot.
Okay.
Let's do the poll.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being unfair.
Volkera said, from what I could tell from the clip, it looked like he both crap / didn't know where he was. Still gave me a chuckle though.
Who said that?
Volkera on YouTube.
Valkyra on YouTube. Is that the legendary Sandorian FFXI player, Valkyra?
I don't know.
The
Is it
legendary-
Valkyra?
The legendary Final Fantasy player, Valkyra? Is that who's in there? Is that person really in our chat?
The one and only.
The one and only, the world famous Valkyra is in our chat, dude. What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the presence of a gaming legend. The great and powerful Valkyra. I believe Valkyra has a birthday coming up. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I'm gonna use the thing today. I don't like to do it, but it'll make me go faster. If you're gonna use a power drill when you're building the PC, you need to set the clutch so it's nice and light so that you don't over torque this thing. You hear that, like, you know, you hear the clutch going. You hear that? That's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear. So you don't want to over torque these things. You want to torque to spec. But that's why I like using the old school like hand screwdriver. Then I can actually feel how tight the screw is.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, it's probably just me being a cranky old man. But at least I'm not a cranky old man that's pissing myself on national TV in front of everybody. Just saying. Oh man. I mean, you watched that, man. Objectively.
It looked like he was doing something, or just very confused. It could have been either one.
I mean, he either legit didn't know where he was, or he was loading the depends. I don't know. Either way, it makes me sad that like this is where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, just don't think that's good for us collectively as a country or a species. I mean, for real, man. What are we doing? And it's not personal, you know. Because it's not like I want to do that job ever. That's why I hate all these politicians, bro. All right. So since we're doing this thing live, we're gonna do a little upgrade for our. Whose PC is this? I didn't even read
It's
it.
for Vincent.
For Vincent. Not Vincent Valentine. We're on Final Fantasy. We're talking about Vincent
Yeah.
Valentine.
Nope.
Vincent Valentine. How cool would that be?
That would be pretty cool.
We could call this PC the Dirge of Cerberus if it was Vincent Valentine's PC. We could call this thing the Dirge of Cerberus.
You ever play that one?
Come on, dude. Really? Of course. So we're gonna upgrade the RAM to DDR5 6400. AMD Expo.
Did you like it? 'Cause I heard a lot of people didn't like it.
I mean, do I think it was like the best entry in the franchise? No. But, you know, I mean, it's just like the Assassin's Creed IP, right? Like, Black Flag is my favorite, but there were a bunch of good ones. You know,
Yeah.
like there were a bunch of good ones. I haven't liked the, you know, have you played them all?
I played a lot of them.
So I'm Black Flag #1 on Assassin's Creed, and then probably Brotherhood #2. I think Brotherhood #2, Revelations #3. What's the Victorian London one?
Syndicate?
Syndicate. That Syndicate I think was good. I didn't really care for 3, which was Connor, you know, the mixed Native American whatever.
Yeah.
I thought like I don't like ambiguity in my video games, bro. Like I don't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt Ubisoft was moralizing to me during that title.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, and I agree that being a human being is a complicated and difficult process, and there's nuance, and there's, you know, all these things. But like in my video games, dude, I want the good guys to be the good guys and the bad guys to be the bad guys. And I don't want to wonder which is which.
Yeah.
I want to be the good guy, and I want to fucking roll the bad guys. That's what I want to do. You know. And like, I mean, I don't mind having to work for it a little bit if it's a challenging,
Mhm.
gameplay or
Yeah.
whatever, or a complicated, now that's different than like a Baldur's Gate 3 where a lot of the interplay is based on that like complexity in the interactions or whatever. So I don't know. I guess that's my way of saying I want it both ways. But like I want the game to, if I want the complicated nuanced scenario, like I want to go into the game knowing that's what I'm going in for.
Right.
I want that to be the milieu of the game that I'm in, right? Like,
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, dude, like, maybe I'm simple. I just, want to kill the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want. So, yeah, maybe that, I don't know. Part of that's probably me. You guys are stuck with me. This is the second time they've been stuck with me this week, man. Second time. Barely streamed for like 2 years. Then I'm twice a week.
Twice in a week.
What's going on here? Put me back in the closet. Put me back on the bench, man. Me. Been in the game too much this week. Been building too many computers, man. Been like a throwback week. Did we confirm that was the Valkyra?
They said so.
All right. Yeah, probably no one else could have like stolen the username. That is probably the legendary Final Fantasy player, Valkyra. Right here in our very own chat. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I think you guys will probably have a chance to see. Maybe somebody would have a chance to run into Valkyra at Anime Midwest recently. Can we just have Anime Midwest around here?
Oh, did we?
I think so. I think we just had it.
I really kind of wanted to go to one of those.
Valkyra never misses an Anime Midwest, dude.
No?
No. Nope.
Always wanted to go to Comic Con too.
Comic-Con, like the original. So the original Comic-Con is in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Where San Diego
think so.
Comic-Con. And then now they do a bunch of Comic-Cons like everywhere, but I think the OG is San Diego,
Yeah.
right?
I think so.
The OG Comic-Con is Comic-Con San Diego.
That was Anime Central.
Anime Central.
That just came.
I've been corrected.
Then Midwest, and then Con Alt Delete in December.
Con Alt Delete.
Huh.
Huh.
I've never heard of Con Alt Delete.
No. You're not enough of a con artist, Brad.
Apparently not.
Look at that. It's a dad joke. Give you guys a free dad joke on Friday.
Next one we charge.
Free dad joke Friday. How about it? I got you with the Jeffrey Dahmer dad joke right before we went on. Alright, let's see if anyone can solve that riddle in chat. Alright, chat. What does Jeffrey Dahmer do when he gets mad? I'm still getting canceled.
Nobody voted in the poll.
Nobody voted in the poll.
Nope.
Nobody wants to talk about our derelict octogenarian dementia riddled president. It's alright. I don't blame you. I don't want to talk about it either.
Meriden says, 2 TJ build streams in a row? How did we get so lucky?
I mean, it's punishment, really. Let's be honest. Punishment, Dan. It's punishment. Actually, there was a child in my office the other day playing with the 3D printed Centurion that
Oh,
the
yeah.
3D printed Spartan that Ameridan gifted us with. Still
I think it's so cool.
Still one of the coolest 3D printed objects.
Punishment for you or for us?
Let's say mutual punishment. Why not? I like streaming, man. I know that I have an acquired taste and everyone will get sick of me pretty quick, you know? I know that I say things that probably offend people and not on purpose. It's just, I speak my mind. And I don't care if people are offended. I mean, just, it doesn't mean, just because I don't care if they get offended doesn't mean I'm offending them on purpose. I'm an adult, man. Like, see stuff all the time that bothers me. You know what happens after that? Nothing. I'm an adult. I move on with my day. I watched the President of the United States piss himself on live television yesterday. Didn't make me feel too good about where we're at. And, it is what it is. I saw it, I thought it was terrible, and I moved on with my day. And then I told everybody about it on a live stream the next day. I guess that's what makes it different. I get to tell everyone about it on a live stream. But I'm not saying, I'm not getting political here. I'm just talking about policy or whatever. I'm just saying I think it's a sad state of affairs when the leader of the free world is like obviously a dementia-addled old man that doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
I just think that's not good. Because it makes you wonder, like, who's making decisions. It's not even a what decisions are being made thing. It's a transparency thing.
Yeah.
Like, just, again, whether you like the guy, whether you voted for him, whatever, I don't care. Like Dana White says, right? Like, it's none of my business who you voted for. I go vote for the person that I want. You go vote for the person that you want. And then we count up all the votes. And because we're not a democracy, we're a republic, there is no national election. There is a series of state elections because that's the system that we live in.
Yeah.
And so you go vote for the person that you want. I vote for the person that I want. We count the votes and one person wins. That's how this works. Like, my person doesn't always win. Sometimes my person wins and I'm happy my person won. And then sometimes my person doesn't win and I'm like, that sucks. But that's what we signed up for.
Yeah. So
like whether you like the person or not, like I can't, honestly can't get over how bad it is. I really have an issue because like obviously that guy can't make decisions about what's going on.
Yeah.
So who's doing it? And that's all I'm saying is like there should be there's a transparency issue going on here, Bradsky.
Yep.
Because that guy is not calling the shots. The guy that's like, clearly lost, doesn't know where he is. He's falling asleep during the and this isn't like the first time.
Yeah.
Or the second time or the fifth time. Like, we gotta make a change here, dude. Why? You know what I mean? Like one way or the other is we can't.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Like as a citizen and a veteran and whatever, like I'm not cool with this.
Meriden says, yeah, when are we going to get a capable candidates again?
Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. I think Trump is very capable. Whether or not that's everybody's preferred flavor, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how we got here, man. I think we got here because I think that most people are like me, where, I have always been somebody that pays attention to politics because I find it interesting, but I also think that a lot of people don't pay attention because, dude, people are busy. Like, we're doing stuff. Mm-hmm. I got kids, you got dogs and a job and shit to do and friends and whatever, and like,
yeah.
People don't want to hang out, and plus I think now we're in this place in society where like everyone's afraid to like alienate somebody or like upset somebody because they have some kind of disagreement or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really unhealthy place to be, just on a societal level, right? Like, because I mean, dude, I have tons of friends that I have no, like, good friends, that like we go out to dinner and I would leave my kids with them and whatever, and we agree politically about like not much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know they're good people. And we just disagree about stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we don't disagree about everything. and we just have different ideas about what's the better way to do something or whatever. But that doesn't mean that, you know, but I think we got here because I think people quit paying attention. And I think people quit paying attention, especially to like local politics, right? Like, you know, do you know who's on the county board?
No.
And, you know, like, did you vote for who's on the county board? And, you know, that's the thing is like our system was set up so that disproportionately decisions would be made at the local level, right? And then over time, we've gotten further and further away from local decision making as more and more power is concentrated in DC. Like if you bring up a map of the wealthiest counties in America, dude, they're all right around DC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like it's you know, because that's where the pigs go to feed at the trough. Like that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, I said it that way to sound mean on purpose because I mean it. That's what's happening. You get these fat hogs going to feed off of the government largesse, and they all coagulate around the center of power. And it's not one side or the other doing it; it's all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't know where we're at as a society with this stuff, man, and it scares me because I don't want to. You know, I think I have well, you and me have talked about it. Like I have a genuine apprehension about this election that's upcoming, dude, because I think there's a lot of potential for things to pop off like in a negative way, and you know, whatever. So it is what it is, but I think it's sad. All right. So chat, what is chat doing this weekend? What's everybody in chat got planned? Anybody watch the Celtics game last night?
I did not.
Celtics?
I just keep forgetting that NBA is still going on, which is weird.
Doesn't it seem late?
It seems really late.
Doesn't
I feel
seem
like
like super
they're
late.
usually done in early May.
I feel like it's super late. And what's crazy is the Stanley Cup finals start tonight too, I think.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like...
I watched the my brother actually sent me a clip of the Edmonton game the other night, and I suddenly find myself being a hockey fan. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, man.
A fight?
No, there was a lady in the stands that made a display of herself. Yeah, it was all over Twitter. Somebody sent me the tweet, and the caption was, "I suddenly find myself being a hockey fan." But I got to be honest, what actually surprised me about the tweet was that hockey's still going on. Like, wait, what? Like, it's June, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, June is like the beginning of summer, and we're still playing hockey.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me. I mean, maybe that's just me being.
I feel like that's late too.
I feel like it's way late in the year for hockey, dude.
So I think NBA they had another tournament before the finals.
WNBA.
I think that's why they're
going
running
on now. WNBA just started, I think.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Nobody knows because it's WNBA, but no, they got the new girl, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
For WNBA, and so there's, you know, this is what you know, people are watching now. You know what I mean? And people are watching the WNBA now because Caitlin Clark is box office. You know, she's a superstar, and a lot of people watch like the women's college basketball, and it was like the biggest women's basketball audiences that there's ever been, at least in like 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember when there was a lady named Rebecca Lobo that played for UConn women's basketball back in the day. It's got to be going back 20 years, dude. But she was such a dominant player. There was talk of her getting drafted in the NBA draft. Yeah. And this is going back like, you can Google that. This is at least I don't know whether she ultimately ended up getting drafted or not, but there was open discussion on like ESPN and stuff of her getting drafted in the NBA draft.
Oh
I
wow.
don't know if anybody ever drafted her, but I mean, I remember this being like a thing, and there was a lot of interest in women's basketball. That was the last time I remember anybody talking about women's basketball.
What was her name?
Rebecca Lobo. I believe she was a very attractive young lady too, if I recall correctly. Which probably was part of the interest. But I remember, I mean, this might have been what, like the 90s, early 2000s? It's been a minute. But
She was in college 95.
95, yeah. So see,
Drafted in WNBA 97.
So drafted in 97, yeah. So so I'm going all the way back to the 90s. This was the last time I remember there being like a lot of network airtime on like ESPN and stuff being dedicated to women's basketball. Was the Rebecca Lobo stuff. I thought she was pretty hot too, actually. Back in the day. It's probably why I remember. Being honest. Just being honest. But that was the only other time in my lifetime, and I've been a sports fan my whole life. That was the only other time I remember there being any like real hype around women's basketball.
Yeah.
And there definitely is hype now, like for sure.
Oh yeah.
And it's all driven by Caitlin Clark. And so I guess what's happening is that the other teams are like, they're like fouling her really hard and like playing dirty and stuff like that. And somebody was saying, I heard a clip from the Stephen A. Smith podcast about how her teammates are not like, you know, stepping up to like protect her and whatever, because they're a bunch of jealous, you know, like I don't know. I mean, that is like Bill Burr says, dude. You know, like women should be supporting each other and supporting women's sports, but instead they'd rather tear each other down. I just, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's cool. We need more positivity going on, man. In basketball and life, just in general. Gotta shut out the negativity. It's hard though, because there's so much weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you're like constantly surrounded by all the negative. The negative.
That's why I don't hardly use social media anymore.
I go through like fits and starts with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where I'll be on it pretty heavy, and then I just kind of get like burned out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I don't really go on it for a while, and then you're on it all the time for work.
For here.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I used to be like a really active Facebooker.
Same.
And I stopped being active on Facebook really when like my friends stopped being active on Facebook, because like over time everybody just kind of like stopped using it as much.
Yeah.
And I used to be on it all the time because I was like, that's how I was keeping up with people. Like, yo, what's going on with Rick and Jen and you know, like Danny Keaston and you know, Nikki Nee and like all my friends from like back in the day, a lot of my old army buddies and stuff. Like, that's how I kept up with like what was going on with them. And everybody just, for the most part, has really kind of like stopped using it. And you know, like it sucks because now I don't know what's going on with everybody like I used to.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to know what was going on with like my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. Like, so everybody was on Facebook all the time, like talking about what's going on. And now I don't see as much stuff on there, and you know, so I'm not on as much because there's not as much content that like I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter more now, I think.
I do a lot of reels.
Reels? Denise does reels. Denise like doom scrolls at night after the kids go to bed. She like sits on the couch and like eats her cheese and crackers and doom scrolls.
Yep. That's what I.
Do you eat cheese and crackers?
Sometimes.
Do you do that while you doom scroll?
No.
Dude, my wife eats cheese like by the block. Like, honey, if you're watching.
Just like me.
If you're watching, honey, I'm sorry for outing you to everyone. My wife is a cheese fiend, bro. You know who's Erica is a cheese pound.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. My oldest daughter is a cheese hound. She likes like bougie cheese though. She goes to Mariano's. She goes to Mariano's for like the cheese section. You know they have a cheese section at Mariano's.
Yeah. Yep.
Mariano's full of bougie. Bougie. Why pay $1.99 at Aldi when you can go to Mariano's and pay $6?
Exactly. No, I go to Woodman's. They have like.
I've heard a lot of good things about
It's like
Woodman's,
double
bro.
the size of Mariano's cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not as expensive either.
I've
You seem to
heard.
pay a premium with Mariano's.
I've heard that Woodman's is good.
I love
The building is freaking huge, bro. Like we drove by it when we took Sam to the dinosaur museum,
Yep.
the
Yeah,
Bolo
like
one.
right across the street from it.
Yeah, and so we drove by it on the way back, and like it's not that far.
No.
Like I always think that it's like far because like Denise and I talk about that shit all the time. Like, oh, we should go to Woodman's or whatever, and we don't because it's like, oh, it's too far or whatever. It's really not that far.
It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we should go, but we don't because all these like right there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, Woodman's is the track, man.
But we go to like 3 different grocery stores every week now, and sometimes 4 if we go to Mariano's. Because Mariano's has like a couple things that just no one else has,
Mm-hmm.
and so we go to like Aldi is like our mainline stuff, but then there's stuff that we get at Walmart, and then we always go to Jewel because Jewel has the best sale. But like if you're buying something at Jewel that's not on sale, bro, it sucks. The price is way too high.
Yeah.
The price is not competitive. Like, but
Crazy.
yeah, but they they'll do like steaks, buy one get one. It's
Yeah.
like what? And you got to do it. Like no one else can touch that.
Yeah.
If you're getting the stuff that's on sale, man, that's where we opportunistically shop at Jewel, you know.
Yep.
And then yeah, so
I kind of treat Jewel as like a convenience store now. Like,
yeah,
if I really need something.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'll go there.
And Jewel does have good like organic stuff. We've been trying to do. I think I am gonna use these clear combs on this. Now that I'm looking at the case being white and stuff, like okay, I'm gonna use the. I think it'll go. But yeah, we like shop the sales at Jewel. You know, Jewel still does the flyer, dude.
Yeah.
That's what's up. You know, like still doing the flyer, dude. Come on. I'm all about the old school like flyer when you walk in the store. Like,
Yep.
takes me back, son. Love it. I remember I remember when Meyer first came out when I was a kid. And that like I lived in Indiana at the time and they opened a Meyer by us.
Yeah.
And my mom was all excited about them opening a Meyer, and I'm like, what's up with this? Like, why is mom, you know, I'm like, Dad, why is mom all like excited about them opening a Meyer or whatever? And he's like, Meyer is a store that has everything. I'm like, no way. I'm like, you can't have a store that has everything. Like, you know, like that. That's, you know what I mean though?
Yeah.
Like, I remember being all excited when the Meyer opened, dude. And then the first time I went to the Meyer, I was like, oh my god, they have everything. Because it was the first store that you could get like, you know, a fishing rod and a loaf of bread.
Oh, really?
Like-
So this is before Walmart then, or
Walmart
was Walmart never like that?
No, so it was not pre-Walmart, but it was definitely pre-Walmart Supercenter.
Okay.
See, Walmart never had Supercenters.
That's right,
When
that's
I was
right.
a kid, there
Yeah.
were Walmarts, but they were not Supercenters. Like Meyer pioneered like the combination like grocery store
Yeah.
/ general merchandise store.
Super Walmart.
Yeah.
I remember that. And
Super
Target.
Walmarts and Walmart Super Center, I think they call it now or
Yeah.
whatever. But that was never a thing when I was a kid, bro. Meyer was the first Super Center store. Yeah. And I like, it was cool because you could like get a G.I. Joe toy and a candy bar. like, like I don't know. That was the thing. That was the one thing I wanted when I was a kid that I didn't get was a Power Wheels.
Like the actual ones you can drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted a Bigfoot Power Wheels, so I was into like monster
yeah.
trucks and stuff. And this kid down the street, Aaron Wagner, had a Bigfoot Power Wheels, and I didn't have one, and I was shitty about it. Not that I'm like, not that I've carried that with me for like 40 years or anything.
My sister wanted the Barbie car.
Erica had a. So I was because I had always wanted a Bigfoot Power Wheels when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so I got Erica the Barbie Jeep Power Wheels when she was little.
Yep.
Even though we had like no money for it. And I remember having like, I don't know, it was like a core memory for me, dude. Like I felt like I had like achieved something in my life when I bought my kid a Power Wheels. Which is looking back is like so ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous thing to like get hyped about.
Yep.
But I like bought my kid a Power Wheels. I was like, yeah, I made it. Yeah, that was wild, man. And we totally couldn't afford it either. I was putting that shit on a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, putting that Barbie Jeep. And then, she didn't use it that much. She was like all excited about it for like a day. And then, but there's a girl across the street, her little friend Colleen. They're still friends to this day.
Yeah.
Not like they're so old. They're in their early 20s. I think Erica's 23. I don't know. I think Colleen's 23. But Colleen would love to ride in the Power Wheels whenever she would come over or whatever, and Erica would never let her drive. Like even though she like didn't even give a shit about like riding in the Power Wheels or whatever, and Colleen would be like, "Let's ride in the Jeep, and Erica was like, "No, let's do something else. Let's do this, let's do that." And Colleen was, "Let's ride in the Jeep, and then Erica would be, "All right, fine, we'll ride in the Jeep or whatever," but she would never let her drive. She gets that from me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, she would never let her drive, dude. And then, I remember that. And I remember Denise being like, "You're not gonna like make her let Colleen drive." I'm like, "No." Which maybe it was bad parenting. But she's like, "You're not gonna make her let her friend drive the Jeep." I'm like, "No, I'm not." I don't know what that says about me as a person, Brad. Probably nothing good. But I was not gonna intervene. I was like, no.
Just let it play out.
Yeah. I was like, let's just, if she wants to let her drive, she'll let her drive. Like, that's her car. She's like 4.
Yeah.
That's her car. If she doesn't want to share, I don't know. I saw a Gary V thing the other day too. You ever watch Gary V?
Sometimes I've seen his like clips and stuff.
So I saw a Gary V clip on, I think it was TikTok. Might have been Instagram. I don't know. You can see Gary V like anywhere though.
Mm-hmm.
But so I saw a Gary V clip, and I actually sent it to Denise because I'm big on like. I'm big on encouraging our kids to compete. I don't make them do it, but I like strongly encourage them to compete if they want to, and like when Alexander wants to do a jiu-jitsu tournament, like I go out of my way to like make a big deal about it and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, because it's hard, and like you know, and he knows like if he's entering a jiu-jitsu tournament, like there's probably going to be, you know, some kid with asshole parents that like sign him up for a division that he shouldn't be in and whatever. So like he knows that he's probably like signing up to get his ass beat.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But he
Yeah.
wants to like go and give it a shot, you know? And like he, you know, he knows he's gonna, you know, maybe win some and, you know, but he knows that he's definitely more likely than not at least gonna catch one ass whipping that day. You know what I mean? And like he still wants to like sign up for it and go out there and like give it a rip. And so like
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, dude, like get out there and see what's up. And like I, you know, like and if you win, like cool, man. But if you don't win, like, you know, you don't get to be a little whiner about it and, you know, complain about how you should have gotten a trophy or whatever. And I'm not saying he does because he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to compete. And I think it's important for kids to like compete and figure out that like, you know, it's cool to, you know, like it's cool to try shit even if it doesn't come off. You know what I mean? And like, all right, you went to a jiu-jitsu tournament and you had 4 matches and you won 2 and then twice you got your ass kicked. Like, I mean, that's I think that's cool. I think that's a good thing for kids to do. You know what I mean? And it's because it's like it's real life. It's got to be scary. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be scary. And Denise gets frustrated with me because I'll say like, because I, you know, like I'll encourage our kids to compete, and you know, she'll say, I don't know, she's more like emotionally intelligent than me, I'm sure, but like, you know, like I don't hide from the fact that like I want them to compete. You know what I mean? And I encourage. I don't force them to do it, but you know, but I'm not shy about saying that like I think it's good for them, and you know, and I don't care if they win. Like I mean, obviously, like I prefer them to win, but I don't want them to. I just don't want my kids to get to the point where they're like adults and they've never failed at anything and they don't know like how to cope with like losing at something, or you know, interviewing for a job and not getting the job or whatever. Like, do you see that stat where is it Gen X or something, or no, Gen Z? I mean, that like 20% of these kids brought their parents to a job interview. That blew my mind, bro. Google that because make sure that I'm not inventing this in my head. It was 19%, I think. Just Google like 19% kids bring parents to job interview or whatever. Like, I swear to God, I'm not making this up though. But this blew my mind, dude. I was like, that can't be real. Like, I thought it was like a, you know, Babylon Bee article or something.
1 in 4 Gen Zers have brought parents to a job interview over the past year. That was May 21st, 2024.
Right. 1 in 4. So
Crazy.
25%. Bro, would you hire somebody that brought their mommy to a job interview?
No, I would not.
Right.
I would not.
You would be like, no. I would be like, no. I mean, am I alone in this, or is that insane?
That's insane. Oh, okay. 19% of employers have had recent college graduates bring their parents with them.
College graduates, bro. College graduates.
This was 2 days ago.
College graduates bringing mommy to a job interview.
Crazy, man.
Are you freaking kidding me, bro? College graduate bringing mommy and daddy to a job interview. Get out of here. This is why colleges are failing.
Employers say recent college graduates struggle with eye contact, 53%. Ask for unreasonable compensation, 50%.
That I believe. Everyone has unreasonable expectations of what the value of their labor is.
Yeah.
That, like, as an employer, I can tell you, like, when we hired you, I remember when we hired you, we interviewed a bunch of people, and there were some people. You were the second to last person we interviewed, actually, I think. You'd have to ask Jacob. He would remember for sure. But you were either the last or the second to last person that we interviewed. And we interviewed a shit ton of people. I mean, we interviewed probably 15 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And dude, every time we post a job, we get a bazillion people. Because like everybody wants to work at a PC gaming company because they think it's cool. Which it is. But I know. I was gonna say, like, that's how everyone that works here got here. But like, we interviewed people like that were good, that were like qualified candidates and stuff, dude. But there was one person that asked for like $32 an hour or something like that with no experience.
Jesus.
And oh yeah, and I was like, I literally in the interview, I was like, what are you basing that on? And he was like, well, that's how much I want to make. And I was like, bro, people in hell want ice water. Like, you know, I want a fucking yacht. Like, I would love to have a G6, but like, you know, $32 an hour with no experience. And this kid was like 18, like fresh out of high school. His only job experience was food service, where he had like 5 jobs over like the last year.
Yeah.
And I'm like red flag as hell right there anyway. And I'm like, $32 an hour. Like, are you out of your mind? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what? And he was just like, yeah, that's, you know, like how much I want to make. And I was just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I gave him like a speech. I was like, I'm going to do you a favor. Like, first off, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not hiring you. Because your expectations for compensation are wildly out of line with the market, number one. And like, I mean, yeah, there's people that are.
I don't even think we talked about compensation. I think like it was my second day, or like, hey, what did we talk about paying you? I'm like, we didn't. And you're like, oh, okay. Let's just start you off here. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know. But I just remember like, you know, whatever. I mean, you know, and you should like pay people fairly and, you know, do the, you know, I mean, we have a 401k here and people get paid time off and, you know, we have a nice benefits package relative to the size of our company and stuff. I'm not saying you should like lowball people and try to run a sweatshop, because that's not, you know, I'm not advocating for that either, because, you know, as an employer, you have a responsibility to like fairly compensate people who are choosing to, you know, dedicate their time and labor to your enterprise, as opposed to, because, you know, you could be doing literally anything else and choose to come to work here, which we appreciate, by the way. But I mean, you know, like, it's not like you don't have options, but, you know, dude, this ain't a 6-figure gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not. And it's, I wish it was. Like, if we made the kind of scratch where, like, you know, it's not like I don't think our people are worth that. It's just, that's not what the market is. You know, like, if I could pay Jacob $100,000 a year, 100% I would. I think he'd be worth every penny. You know what I mean? We can't pay wages like that. You know, I mean, like, we pay a living wage, but, you know, we can't pay crazy salaries. Like, I mean, I hope we can grow to the point where we can have, you know, like, executive level employees that make good money and stuff, because honestly, that would be really cool to me to see, you know, people that like started here from the bottom and worked their way up, and now they got a kick-ass house and drive a nice ride and like all that stuff. Like, that'd be really gratifying to me. But, and I think it's cool to employ people in your community and like provide a livelihood for people that live and work where you live and work and stuff. And I like that part of being an employer. But dude, I can fully sympathize with that. Employers thinking people have unrealistic wage expectations, like, especially these young people that don't have any work experience, and these kids coming out of college. Dude, in my mind, a lot of these people are a liability, not an asset. Like, I'm for real, because you don't know shit about what we do, because, you know, there is no college class where you like learn about gaming shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, literally every person that works here is either self-taught or taught by me, or some combination of the two. And usually some combination of the two. And I'm self-taught. It's not like I went to college for gaming or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, dude, these people have, you know, and they're drama, bro. But you know what I mean? Which is one thing that as an employer I hate. I hate drama. I absolutely hate drama. Drama is counterproductive and terrible for morale. And like, you know, if somebody's not a fit for the culture of your organization, like if you're a hiring manager somewhere, if you're in chat and you're hearing me and you're a hiring manager in charge of like, you know, putting bodies in positions at an enterprise of any kind, and somebody is just not a fit for the culture of your organization, do not hire that person, number one. And number two, if you do make a hiring mistake, because if you hire enough people, you're bound to get it wrong sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've made bad hires, and you know, as soon as it becomes apparent that that person is not, you know, simpatico with what's going on, get them out. Get the fuck rid of them. Like, you know what I mean? Because they'll drag everyone down. They'll drag the whole thing into the toilet because no one likes that person. No one likes that person. And if you're, say you're my age and you've been at a company for 8, 10, 12 years or whatever, and you're some mid-level manager somewhere or whatever, like a lot of people, and you get this newly minted college kid, you know, especially some Ivy League fuckwit that, you know, has a shiny new Harvard diploma and thinks they know everything, and, you know, they come in, actually, like, bro, you want to kill that person. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we all know that person. You know, no one likes that person. You want to slap that person, you know, and the employer perception of some of these young people that are freshly minted out of college with their diploma mill paper that they, you know, went through the communist indoctrination camp or whatever. Like, I mean, bro, these people are an HR liability. Like, they're a nightmare. They're, you know what I mean? They start talking about, you know, you use my preferred pronouns and like, you don't want that in a workplace as an employer. You know, you don't want it. And I don't, you know, fight me. I don't, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that like, you know, people that have unusual circumstances don't deserve a job or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, dude, you can't, you know, we're at the point in society right now where the old adage, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Like, nah, bro, we're that point. That ship has sailed. You know, we're at the point where, you know, the squeaky wheel, people wants to shut the fuck up. Like, that's where we're at. You know, you are here. You know, you used to be here. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Now you're here. No one wants to hear the fucking wheel squeak. Like, that's
gonna replace the wheel.
Yes, replace the wheel. Don't use that wheel. Find a wheel that doesn't squeak. Like, you get, you know, because you don't want. We're at the point no one wants to fix the wheel anymore. It's use a different wheel. Hire a different wheel. You know, hire a wheel that doesn't squeak. Like, hire a wheel that just rolls.
Yeah.
that just rolls in the direction we're trying to go, along with all the other wheels. That's what, you know. I mean, I laugh, but I'm being deadly serious. Like, you know how many employers I talk to? Like, I mean, dude, you know how many people I'm on the phone with day in, day out, all the time, and like, we talk about hiring and, you know, like, bro, no one wants the fresh out of college with the shiny diploma kid and the unrealistic wage expectations, because they've got this inflated sense of importance about, you know, like, dude, everyone that works for this company could do my job. I mean, legit, every single person that works for this company right now could do my job. 100% of them. You know, like, I own the place. Like, you know, and there isn't a single person that even works for this company that couldn't, on a daily basis, do all of the things that I do. You know, dealing with vendors, ordering components, like dealing with pricing, dealing with, you know, customer, you know, issues or complaints, or, specking out builds for customers. Like half the stuff I do, you guys do at least occasionally do anyway.
Yeah.
And so this idea that like, because you got a business degree from, and most of these kids didn't even go to like some prestigious school or whatever. Like if you got a degree from, Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, Penn, Stanford, like one of those like top 40 or 50 schools that has like a big alumni network, and, like if you're not from that like top tier of schools, all your degrees are the same. Fight me. I don't care. Dude, no one cares if you went to NIU, SIU, Western, Illinois State, Southern, Illinois Wesleyan, Eastern, UIC. It's all the same.
Yeah.
If it's not U of I or University of Chicago or Northwestern and it's a degree from a university in Illinois, there's those 3 schools and then there's all the other ones. And if you're not from Northwestern, University of Chicago, or U of I, no one cares. No one cares. My degree from NIU and everyone else who has a degree from Illinois State or Southern Illinois or Illinois Wesleyan or Western Illinois, or it's all the same. It's all like, no one cares. So like the idea that all these kids are going out of state. So I just had this discussion with my second oldest daughter, because Erica is done with school.
Mm-hmm.
And Maddie was talking about going to UW Milwaukee. And I'm like, why? Well, and I'm like, why? Like, you can go to UIC, and she's transferring.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was gonna transfer to UW Milwaukee, and she came the other night, and she went out to dinner the other night, and she's like, well, I think I might want to just go to UIC because, I'll get the same degree and my loans will be, $8,000 a year instead of $28,000 a year. And I'm like, sounds like a smart decision to me. You know what I mean?
I wish I had done that.
Well, because you're getting a commodity, a degree, that has the same value, whether you get it from UW Milwaukee or UIC. It's the same degree. It has the same market value. I didn't, fight me. It's the same thing. It is literally the same thing. So why would you go pay 5 times more or 4 times more, whatever it is?
Yep.
Like, it's crazy to me. Like that's why Jacob left tech, because he was like, I'm going to do 4 years of this, and I'm going to come out with 6 figures in debt. How about no? Like, for what? And I get it. I'm not saying don't go to college or whatever, but what I am saying is genuinely think about whether or not you do need to go to college. Like, look, if you're going to be a dentist, you need to go to college. You know what I mean? If you're going to be an attorney, you need to go to college. If you're going to be a physician, you need to go to college. You're not going to do one of those like 3 things that if you're going to be a college professor, you need to go to college. Like, but if you're not, and honestly, if you're thinking about going to law school, don't, because they're going to replace you with ChatGPT. For real.
I know.
For real, you're going to spend $500,000 getting a JD. That's a Juris Doctor. That's a lawyer degree. For those that don't know, or maybe younger people, like, you're going to spend $500,000 to get a JD and learn, like 99% of lawyers probably are not like trial lawyers. They do shit like estate planning and wills and trusts and incorporations and, business law. And even business law is a lot of like, my buddy Andy is an attorney, went to Georgetown, like, big shot Georgetown law guy or whatever. We have some customers, that are like attorneys in Chicago and stuff. And a couple of them, one has his own firm, does super well, really nice guy, great guy. And like, I don't have some like axe to grind. Candelario's an attorney for a big New York firm. Cadwalader makes tons of money. Super great guy, really good friend. But dude, if you're thinking about going $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in debt for a law degree, like, bro, the last 3 times I've needed an attorney, I have not gotten one. I have done a little you know, self-help on the internet and you know, use some AI tools to draft some letters that sounded suspiciously like an attorney wrote them or whatever, because you can't copyright boilerplate legalese.
Yeah.
You know, like, so the last several times I've had to do things that in years past I would have used an attorney for and probably paid a couple grand. Nah, dude. I have done, you know, GPT 4.5 that we pay $19.99 a month for. Like, and that's, you know, so I'm telling you, if you're like genuinely think about what, you know, what you're doing, and if you're gonna go take on 6 figures worth of debt, like, I can tell you from experience, that's a lot of debt. That's the kind of debt that'll keep a person awake at night, man. You know? And it's like toxic student loan debt that you can never get away from. Like, you can't get away from it in bankruptcy, you can't get away from it in like, you know, anything. I mean, there's horror stories. I've read them, horror stories about people getting their social security checks bricked for student loans and stuff like that. And like, I mean, again, I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm just saying, you know, there's an awful lot of people that are going to college that aren't benefiting proportionally to what they're paying for it. And I just think that the math doesn't make sense for as many people as it used to. 30 years ago, all right, man. But like, you have to do something different now.
Yep.
I just feel like you have to do something different now. Like the old tried and true, you know, get good grades, go to college, you know, get a job, work 40 years for a company, retire with a pension or whatever. Bro, who does that? Like, you can't, that's not a thing anymore. You know? And I mean, I can sit here and opine all day about how it's not cool or it's unfair that that's not a thing anymore or whatever. But, you know, it's like fighting, dude. You don't go to war with the army you wish you had. You go to war with the army you got. Like, you know, I can sit here and opine all day long about how the good old days aren't coming back and it sucks that no one gets a pension anymore and whatever. But in point of fact, whether you like it or you don't like it, these are the conditions you're operating in. And so I just think people should really think twice about taking on what in a lot of cases is ludicrous amounts of debt for a degree that is not going to confer upon them proportional increase in earning potential for what they paid.
Yep.
Like, it's just, you know, I'm just saying, do a cost benefit analysis of going to college before you go. And if you're taking an honest look and giving an honest appraisal of like what the market value of your degree is versus what you're paying for it, I just think there's a lot of people that would make a different choice, bro. That's, you know, I would.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, it's easy for me to say because I didn't pay for school, but, you know, like, although I guess I could say I marched for free college. I went and marched for free college. I guess that's true. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says, you know, I marched for free college or whatever. So like, I went to school for free, but I didn't know I could go to school for free at first. Like, I knew I had my GI Bill and college fund, and so I went to community college. Well, I drained that sucker. And I went to community college for 3 years, baby. I drug that shit out to get every nickel out of that college fund. 100%. 100%. I absolutely did. I absolutely drug it out for 3 years getting an associate's degree. Because as long as I had 12 credit hours in the spring, 12 credit hours in the fall, checks kept hitting the checking account every month. See you later, Liz. And then I didn't know that I could ever, I had no expectation or plans to ever get a 4-year degree. And then I was at this like American Legion event and ran into some dude that worked at the Veterans Assistance Center at the county. And he asked me if I had used my Illinois Veterans Tuition Grant benefits. And I was like, what? And he was like, when you went into the service, was your home of record Illinois? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you can go to a state school tuition free for like, 4 years. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, it doesn't, they don't pay for your books and stuff like that, but they cover your tuition. And I was like, so I can take my associate's degree from McHenry County College and I can transfer to NIU and go get a 4-year degree. And he's like, yeah, like, I'm going to do that. So I did. So I went and got my 4-year degree that, cost me nothing. I mean, I had to go.
Right.
And I had to do it. And I had, I had to buy books and whatever. And I commuted from Cary to DeKalb 5 days a week for, because I commuted.
Yeah. It's like an hour and a half drive, isn't it?
Yeah, it was about an hour and 20 minutes each way.
Damn.
I had a cool car though, so I didn't mind in the summer.
Okay.
And I carpooled with my friend Nicole, so it wasn't that bad. I carpooled with Nick, I carpooled with Nikki, I think usually like 2 or 3 days a week, depending on the semester.
Mm-hmm.
And she lived like a block away from me, and so that was cool. Like I didn't mind the commute that much. And I was working, so I worked full-time nights. So I was working full-time nights, and then I was working weekends. So I was working for a courier service on the weekends that picked up blood specimens and stuff for like labs.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a route that I would drive, and I would drive around and pick up a bunch of like lab specimens and then like deliver them to that FedEx has a special like lab service.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go pick up all the lab samples, and then I would drive to like the FedEx and get like the special like lab boxes and label everything and whatever. And that was a good like side hustle. And I was working nights during the week, repoing cars. that was a trip.
But that was a fun job.
That job was wild, bro. That job was wild. Like that was I mean, I had like people pull guns on me and whatever.
Holy crap!
What's up, Mr. Owen? I was just talking about when I was going to school, just yapping like I do, But yeah, that was an interesting gig, but it was good money, right? Like it was good money, and there were no set hours or anything. You just got work orders.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
yeah, so I wasn't working like, crazy hours every single night or whatever. You out of here, Jay?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. What time is it?
4:30.
All right. I'll speed it up. You knew what you were signing up for. But yeah, repoing cars was a trip, dude. For real, had a guy like gun on me once, and then he had a couple people like threaten to shoot me and stuff. And, I only had one guy like actually pull out a pistol and like point it at me. That was a trip. I never felt like he was actually gonna shoot me though.
Yeah.
Got 10? Dang, dude, you guys are ballers back there. Man. Jacob for president. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I didn't, like, he was obviously, like, very animated and upset that we were possessing his car. And he, like, pulled out his car. I was like, really, bro? Like, I was just looking at him like, really? I'm like, it's like 3 a.m., bro. It was in Waukegan. Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure Waukegan. But it was in Waukegan, and the guy, like, and he was a very heavy gentleman, quite large, and like pulled a gun like out of the waistband of his shorts, and when like pointed at me, I was like, really, bro? Like, you're gonna turn this into like a murder charge, like because we're taking you. It was a PT Cruiser. We were repoing a purple PT Cruiser, and they had this guy, and he threatened to like. I was with Hank, and like we had it hooked up to the tow truck, everything, and like we were like ready to go, and the guy comes like running out or whatever, and like got this like pulls his gun out of the waistband of his shorts. Really? You're gonna shoot me, dude? Like, are you out of your freaking mind? That you're gonna shoot me over a car? Like, what are you doing? And he wasn't like, like you could tell he was just super like upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't like he was like on drugs or something. Like, I wouldn't have fucked with him. Yeah. Like he didn't. I never had the vibe that he was really gonna shoot me. Not to say that I wasn't like paying very close attention to what he was doing.
Right.
But I'm not to say that I wasn't a little nervous about the situation or whatever, because I was. But I never had the vibe that like, he was about to like unload a magazine and like, never got the vibe that he was about to do a mag dump on me or anything. Like I didn't believe he was ever actually gonna shoot me. But that's one of my. I got some good repo stories, dude. I did that for like 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Denise made me stop. She's like, you're gonna get hurt, or which is probably true. This is not like a great.
Yeah.
I liked it. I always liked it, but I didn't mind like. I never minded like. Being in a beef with somebody. Like, it never bothered me. I didn't, not like I was like looking for a fight, but I never, but I'm not a big enough person that I'm gonna walk away from one. I'm not trying to start shit, but I'm definitely not emotionally intelligent enough to walk away. Like if somebody wants to fight, like, all right, I mean, we can, I'm not worried about it. When I was younger, in the army, we used to start a lot of shit, but I was dumb when I was in the army. It's good getting our fair share of altercations. Probably more than our fair share of altercations. But we were just kids, man. Not saying that makes it okay, but it is what it is. It was a different world back then, though. There was, back then, like, you got in a fight, you fought, and then, like, everybody went home. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because people didn't, like, call the cops and stuff. Like, if dude, when I was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia, I don't think they even call it Fort Benning anymore. I don't even know what it is now. They've like renamed all the bases. But I was stationed at Fort Benning, and then every major like military installation has their like attached city, and Fort Benning had Columbus, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And Columbus was not probably like the nicest town, but not to say it was bad, but there were some sections of town that were pretty sketchy, and we used to hang out in those parts of town. Like, and you would get, but like you would get in a fight at, at a pool hall, at a bar, at a whatever. And like, dude, no one called the cops. Like, you just went out in the parking lot and you got in a fight and then you left. Like, you know what I mean? And like you either won or you got your ass kicked, and, you probably had some friends with you or whatever, but like, nobody got shot. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe we just got lucky, but you got in a fight and then you went home. Like, there was no like, I don't know. I mean, this is a long time ago. This is 25 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. But it just never seemed, didn't seem that crazy to me. You'd go out with your buddies, you'd have a little too much to drink. One of your buddies would start talking to some guy's girlfriend or whatever, and you get upset. So there's always a woman involved. Always a woman involved. You start talking to some guy's girlfriend, he'd get upset. You know, there'd be some chirping back and forth, and then, you know, you go outside and then you fight, and then, you know, whatever, you went home. Like, what? Just, well, you know what I mean? It wasn't that big a deal. It just wasn't. And it was no, you know, like, guys that roughed up a little bit, you know, but it was never anybody like getting like hospitalized or anything crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Sammy Snyder getting kicked out of it was called La Vila? Forget what it was. One of those clubs in Panama City, throwing all these chicks in the pool. You know, just being a dumbass. Just, you know, being a prick. Like, just doing stupid stuff you shouldn't be doing because you're drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was no, like, you know, nobody had, like, seriously malicious intentions or anything. Like, you're just being a drunk idiot. You know, it's been a lot of my youth. Hello. What's up? It's going. I'm live streaming right now. It's okay. No, it's all right. What's up? It's my wife. Oh, no, my day's good. We're just Brad and I are hanging out, doing the thing. About to wrap this up here shortly. And then I'll be leaving for the weekend. Everything all right? All right. All right. Well, I will see you when I get home. No, we'll figure it out. All right. Love you too. Always answer when it's your wife. It's your wife, your husband, or your parents. Always answer the phone. Because you never know. You never know phone tap, man.
Yep.
Never
What's up,
know.
Deluxador?
But what are you gonna do? So what's chat doing this weekend? Anything?
Yeah, what are
You
you
got
guys
any
up
people
to?
in chat? Has anybody left? Did they all leave?
It looks like we have 13 on Twitch.
Did I scare everybody away? One TJ stream a week is enough, right?
Yeah.
Everybody rolled out. What's a Meridan doing this weekend?
Deluxe said he's watching the Dallas Mavs.
Watching it. All right. So Mavs and Celtics.
Mavs lost last night.
Mavs got killed last night, bro. Although I think I watched the first half, and then I took Eleanor to pick up my Uncle Jerry's, and I never turned the game back on because it was just like I think the Celtics were up like 20 something at halftime, and I was like, this game's over, bro. Like,
yeah.
Whatever. And then when I checked the score on my phone. So we got back, like I ate my pizza, and then I read Dogman comics with Samuel every night when I put him to bed. So we read a Dogman comic, and forget which book we're on, but you know, we just read like 1 or 2 chapters every night of whatever Dogman book we're on.
Yeah.
So I read Dogman comics to Sam, and then I tuck him in, and then when I was going I usually go in with Alexander after I put Sam down, and then after I get Alexander situated, I go in with Eleanor. And I spend, 15-20 minutes with each kid at night at bedtime, and check the score on my phone. Yeah, I was done reading to Sam, and I saw that it was like an 11-point game, and I was like, I got interesting. you know.
Yeah,
And but I was, I was like, still had 2 more kids to go. So by the time I got done with Eleanor's bedtime minutes, and we were reading. So Alexander just reads on his own. So when I hang out with him at night, we usually like play chess or just talk about whatever. Sometimes we watch like jiu-jitsu matches or whatever, and he does like, he gives me like his fight breakdown or whatever. We'll watch like some flow grappling or whatever, and then Eleanor and I are reading all the Magic Treehouse stuff.
Oh man, Magic Treehouse.
I know, dude. Yeah. So
I haven't heard Magic Treehouse.
Yeah, we're on. I think there's like 12 of them or something. I think we're on 7. I think we're on book 7 right now. But it's like, dude, bedtime at our house is like a process. So by the time I get out of like bedtime minutes with kids, dude, like game's over.
Yeah.
Like I don't get to watch. But I think the Stanley Cup starts tonight. I believe it is Florida and Edmonton, I believe. Is that right?
Let's see.
Edmonton Oilers.
Oilers and Panthers.
Oilers and Panthers. So.
Volkera says probably going to play some Final Fantasy 11, and then I don't know what else. Probably play the weekend by ear. Maybe check out a comic book store possibly.
There you go.
Sounds fun.
Still playing Final Fantasy 11. Man.
It's an old one.
It's an oldie. Oldie but a goodie.
I always wanted to play Final Fantasy 11. I
Dude,
heard
that
there
was
like a boss that took 48 hours to kill or something.
I don't know, man. There was
some wild stuff.
I was banned at one point from FFXI.
Really?
Yeah. For inappropriately naming one of my tunes.
Doesn't surprise me.
It wasn't even that, like, it wasn't even bad. In my opinion. I thought that was much ado about nothing, to be honest with you. Where's the freaking, I'm having another Joe Biden moment, dude. Where's the, the thing. Anyway. No. Anyway. So, FXI, man, that's taking me back. That's a throwback. FXI. An oldie but a goodie. That one.
Yeah, really the only MMO I ever really got into was WoW.
I was hardcore on WoW, dude. I feel like peak WoW was Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah.
I feel like that was peak WoW.
Yep.
That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think it was Wrath. But I didn't start raiding or anything until Miss of Pandaria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, dude, I started raiding. I did not. I was not an early adopter. I never did like any of the vanilla raids when it was current content.
Yeah.
I did them, but not until later. I never, like the original Highjaw.
Yeah.
AQ40. What was the other one? Zul'Farrak. I did all that stuff. I never did it as like current content. Because I started. I guess I did Highjaw when it was current content. But I was in a 40-man and I didn't really know what I was doing, and so that was when I started. And then so I started like properly raiding during Burning Legion, Burning Crusade, and then I didn't have a static, you know what I mean? So I would raid, but I would usually just pug or whatever, and I didn't have like a set, we didn't have a guild run,
Yeah.
But all through Wrath, we had a guild that was just on it. Like we had a great group of people that was fun to play with. Nobody sucked.
Yep.
Like, you know, that was important. That was important because
Very
you know, you'd
important.
have people that were like really good people that wanted to raid all the time, but they just were shit.
Yep.
They just weren't good players. And if you were trying to get achievements and stuff like that, like, you know, bro, we got Undying when it was like current patch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like that's, I mean, you don't have to be like the best player ever to do that, but you can't carry someone.
Yeah.
Like you can't carry someone for that achievement. Like they gotta be serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they gotta, you know, you can't stand in the poo. Like you gotta, you know what I mean? Because there's always somebody, you know, safety dance would stand in the poo.
Yep.
Or they would lag out, or, you know, because everyone was still on DSL back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody would lag out and just, you know, you'd be doing the safety dance, and then, you know, 3 people in your 25 man, like, you know, just get out of the poo, man. Like, it was, but so you couldn't carry anybody. Like everybody had to be good. You know, you didn't have to be, you know, the world's greatest player, but
Yeah.
like you couldn't suck and you couldn't carry anybody. And so I do remember like doing that as current content. That was probably like that was probably peak fun for raiding for me. Was our 10 man. We had a good 25 man too. But you know, it's like anything else. When you grow the group, like you get diluted.
Yep.
You know, you get diluted with the talent pool. Like, you know, because I played a feral druid like forever.
Mm-hmm.
I never had I had some like, you know, I never had another max level alt.
Oh, really?
Never.
Okay.
Never. So my main character, I played a feral druid forever, like since Burning Crusade.
Oh, wow.
So I leveled as a feral and I stayed as a feral, and I never was a healer. I'm when I say feral, I mean DPS.
Yeah.
So I mean the rogue kitty.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, never tanked. You know, I had a when you could have off specs, I had like a hybrid emergency tank off spec, you know, for like certain boss fights where you needed, you know, like a third tank,
Yeah.
you know, to step in just for a minute or whatever for mechanics or whatever. I could have that spec, but I always played a DPS. And at one point, which, dude, we sucked all through BC, like, you know, but when they did armor pen and expertise in Wrath, like that was our moment, dude. that was our moment. That was our moment for feral DPS was Wrath, because you know you could get your ticks on your bleeds to crit, and yeah, and like I mean, dude, I was on top of every DPS meter. Like, you know, that was our moment. Wrath was the moment for a DPS feral druid, and then all the other X packs we were shit.
How it always is.
But we never. Well, you know, it's like when they did WoW Classic, and like I thought about it, and I leveled a couple, you know, like I started leveling and whatever, and then I was like, oh look, everyone's rolling a, you know, like, oh, you're rolling a warrior, how original.
Yeah.
You know, you're rolling a warlock, you know, like everyone was blocks and warriors, and I was like, dude, you know, like I mean, I get it, because you're reliving your childhood essentially.
Yep.
And you're like, you know, if I was gonna relive my childhood, I would want to be the cool kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I get it, like I get why it was like that, but it just turned me off the game. And then Winkler and I dicked around with the permadeath stuff for a while, and then I was like, but I lost like a 42.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that was it for me, because I lost all my tunes, but I had gotten to like, you know, I think I only got to like 8 the first time or whatever, because you condition yourself to just grind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you were leveling a tune, you weren't like, trying not to die. You were just leveling a tune. You were just running dungeons or doing quests or whatever. Like, you know, whatever. If you die, you just run back. Like, you know, like, it's how we all played. And you never conditioned yourself to, like, think, like, you know, shit, if Hogger kills me, I'm actually dead. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, so I lost, like, a couple, like, low-level tunes, you know, 8, 12, whatever. And then, like, then I lost one in Dead Mines. I lost, like, a 23 in Dead Mines or whatever, and I was pissed. I was like, yeah, all right. Like, you know, because and Winkler was like, dude, let's re-roll. And I'm like, all right, but this is the last time. And then we got all the way to, I think it was 42 or 43, you know, but like, dude, 42, 43, you have some time in.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, nah, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, and then you would have to listen to like the you know, like it would roll it in the chat like every time somebody hit 60, and you just, you know, you know, you're out there like re-rolling like your 7th tune and you haven't gotten past like 30, and you're seeing, you know, like this person just hit 60, this person just hit 60, and you just flip the table over, you know.
Yeah, I think I got to level 7 and then I died from some kobolds.
Oh, you can't go in the you just can't go in the mines, dude. You just stay out.
They spawn too fast.
Yeah, you just stay out. The respawn is too.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a million people in there farming, running quests, whatever, mining ore, low level stuff. Like,
yep.
You can't go in you gotta stay out of the caves, man. You just can't even go in.
Yep.
Like, yeah, because you just can't. That's how you know, because you want to die. That's how you die.
That's how you die. Yep. Yep, I was so pissed.
Run into the caves.
I was only level 7. I can't imagine what losing a level 42 would be like.
That was it for me, dude. I literally, I was like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore, dude. Like, I'm out. And, you know, Winkler had previously died, like, in the 30s or whatever. And he was like, you know, I'm out or whatever. And I'm like, whatever, when this guy's dead, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, a couple days later. So the first patch for Manor Lords came out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
Haven't played post-patch yet.
Okay.
So that's on my docket for the weekend. It's first patch of Manor Lords. We'll see. I enjoyed that. I did feel like the AI was very aggressive. Did you play?
I haven't really played that much.
No. I felt like the AI was very aggressive at like how fast they claim territory and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, you know, you have to be very aggressive too. And I felt like the average player was probably gonna get put off by like how aggressive the AI was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, dude, it's a strategy game, and I've, you know, not my first strategy games, you know, it's what I do.
Yeah.
And so I was very much like, you know, I thought it was okay at like how fast the AI claimed territory and stuff. I thought it was fast. But if you were super aggressive too, and you were very like efficient, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it wasn't anything that you couldn't handle. But I thought it was too. I consider myself a good player, you know, like everybody.
Yeah.
And I did feel like, you know, man, this is gonna be too fast for like the average, you know, recreational player or whatever. And because I'm a recreational player, but like if I'm playing like Civ 6 or whatever, like, dude, I'm not playing on deity, but I'm playing on, you know, like above the middle but below the super hardest level.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because I don't want to just win every time. And I'm not, you know what I mean? But I don't want to win, you know, like, dude, Winkler plays on deity for Civ 6. And he wins, I don't know, maybe 1 out of 3. Like, wow. We go head to head and he whips my ass. Like, because he's, well, first off, he plays like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have the kind of time that he does to actually put in. But I just, you know, I'm not there for the deity level stuff, dude. Like, you know, I don't want to win. I don't want to just cruise to victory every time I play. But I want better than a 1 in 50 shot to get a dub.
Right.
Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? And I know there's players that live for that, like, 1 in, you know, like you play on like the hardest level.
Yep.
And like the, you know, the stars have to align and you have to, you know, RN Jesus has to bless you with your drops and or whatever, depending on the game. And I'm not that hardcore. I'm not on that level. Because I'm still playing for fun.
Yeah.
You know? At least, anyways. So. More Joe Biden. Anyways. So. There we go. I keep looking at this thing like, why is it angled like that? And then I gotta put the standoffs in. Yeah, anyway. Where are we at? We gotta cut it at 5. So however far I get it. I'll be done. All I have to do is put the, you know, the thing.
Yeah. What's up, Beans and Rice? How's it going?
Beans and rice.
I think this is their computer, right? I think this is your computer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Better customer?
I think so. The name seems. I think that's their email
Vaguely
too.
familiar.
Yeah.
But only vaguely.
Only vaguely.
Vaguely familiar.
Beans and rice.
Beans and rice sounds good right now, dude.
It actually does.
Beans and rice. Does sound good. You know what's good? Beans and bread.
Really?
You ever just take
Like beans and toast, like
yeah,
it's English?
yeah. You ever just have like Bush's baked beans and just
No.
sop them up with some bread, like some butter bread?
No.
You know, I eat butter
I'll
bread.
have to try that.
Yeah, I eat butter bread. I still eat butter bread, like for real. I'll just butter up some bread, not toast.
I've done that.
Just bread.
Yeah.
Just butter bread, man.
Yep.
You gotta have a butter boat. So that your butter's soft, because otherwise you'll mash your just mash your bread. Then it's not cool. Alright, which standoff? I'm trying to figure out which standoffs I need for this. Do I add the for AM5? So this is how you know I don't build PCs every day anymore.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I don't know off the top of my head which bracket to use. So I don't want to use the because theoretically, as long as you had good contact and you didn't over torque it, doesn't you could use the other bracket and it would still be okay. But I don't. Just want to do it right. I just want to do it right. So that's the Intel bracket. This is the AM4 bracket. I need the AM5, dude. Where's the AM5? So do okay. Oh, this is showing you how to customize the pump cover. Do we do that? Sinkhole, Dazzle, and Duo Infinity. That's why they call it the Trinity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why they call it the Trinity SL Infinity. Because you have 3 different options for the pump head. And then... Oh, so it comes with the AM5 bracket on. Really?
Huh.
I thought you had to switch it. So you have to switch it if it's AM4. Is that right? This is showing me how to change from Sinkhole to Dazzle, which I'm not doing. This is how you know I don't build PCs every day. So that's the Intel instructions. Where's the AM5? So the default is the AM5. That I mean, that makes sense, I guess, because it lines up roughly. I
Yeah.
think. No, not sure. No, that can't be right. This can't be the correct wrap. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. That's the Intel one. That can't be crazy.
Yeah. This is for Vincent.
Vincent Valentine. So this has to be the AMD bracket. Oh, word! You leave the thing on there.
You leave the Intel one?
No, you leave the AMD. You know how like I took it off right when I first started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Dang, that's a throwback. What do I do with those things? They're over here somewhere. Oh, here they are. I knew I didn't throw them away. But yeah, so you leave the stock. You leave the stock thing, and then it flips over and you tighten it down. I see I see what we're working with. That threw me for a loop, dude. Because I'm so used to taking that piece off.
Yeah.
And I guess for this AIO, you don't take those off. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Now I gotta find those screws too. I know I set them over here somewhere. That's kind of crazy. That's how you know I don't build PCs every day. What a dope. I'm learning live on the air, Brad. I'm learning live while the customer watches. Very nervously going, wait a minute, what is this guy doing? Here they are. I know. Because I don't throw anything away for exactly that reason. Until I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put it on and hardware and use it. I should have left that on. Dude, you never leave that on.
I know.
What the heck? Alright, well. I literally take that off before I even socket the CPU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the first thing I do.
Beans and Rice says warranted, so it's all good.
Yeah, yeah. True story. True story. I'll get it right, don't worry. I mean, in my defense, I'm stopping to look to make sure I'm doing it right, rather than just winging it.
Right.
I'm stopping to make sure that I'm using the right bracket and stuff. You'll be correct, rest assured. But I'm like, man, I'm literally, I keep looking at the thing like, am I crazy? That doesn't hook on like that. And okay, so then it hit me. No, dummy. You gotta leave the original bracket on. Which, I mean, okay. I'm here for it. That's okay, that's nice and neat. See, that just sits right on there. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's actually easy. That's way easier than like taking these off and change. I mean, it's honestly a smarter way to do it. It's just they didn't do it for so long. Interesting. I just am so used to taking that thing off.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's it. Maybe I need to get out of the AM4 mindset. Because the last time I was building PCs day in and day out, AMD was AM4. And you just took the thing off every set of mounting hardware. You took the thing off. The Corsair ones went over top like this.
Oh, really?
They were the only ones. All the other ones took the stock stuff off.
I remember when I was building my first computer, it was AMD. They had this stupid tension bar.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going
That was
back.
the
You're
worst.
going back.
This was
dude.
like 2011, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're dipping way into the archives for the tension bar.
stupid tension bar, man.
Yeah, that was
Literally took me like 15 minutes to get it on. Like it was.
that's 15 minutes is a halfway decent time.
Oh man, it probably was longer, but this was the first computer I was ever building, and it was like, how the hell do I do this? How does this fit on? Yeah.
Everyone's had those moments, man. We've all been through it.
I was so happy when I found out that Intel's was like you press it down and then you twist.
Yeah. There's been some pretty good like mounting systems over the years, and there's been some pretty bad ones. There's been some pretty good and some pretty not so good.
Yeah.
But this is actually a smart, pretty easy way to do this, really. And it's would have been even easier if I wasn't a dummy and took off the stock hardware at the beginning, which obviously had I known I wouldn't have done. But you live and learn, dude.
We'll know for next time.
That's the key to learning. But that's like a way. That's a way spot. It is so hard to get down over that. But that's a way. Are we? Oh, we're over the time, bro. Shoot. Alright. We got a biz ounce, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I gotta call it. Because I got a hard break on the home front.
Cool.
So I'll wrap this up off camera. But that's twice in a row I've done that. I start talking so much, dude, and then anyway, there I go again. So we'll cut it here. I'll finish this up real quick off camera. We'll roll. But have a good weekend, guys. Everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys
Wednesday.
Wednesday is the big event next week. So
Yep, I have it. I have an event planned on Discord or whatever.
Yeah, we'll be back on Monday, but Wednesday is the big
Wednesday is the big day.
the big bang. So we'll see you guys then. Have a great weekend.
All right, see you guys.
All right.